Hello and welcome to The Extra Mile. I'm Linda BoudreauX. Our guest today is Mike Moceri. Mike is a songwriter, a musician, a poet, a humanitarian, an acquaintance I haven't seen in a long time, and so it's so good to see you again and to have you back.
Good to see you, too.
Thank you, Mike, so much. Thank you for coming today. It's been a while since I've seen you, and you've been very busy over the years. You started writing more of your songs, I understand.
Well, I've always written, but I picked up in intensity when I was healed by this magical medicine, Geodon, and I started playing nursing homes furiously and fanatically for 5 years, and I made quite a dent.
So as you began to feel better, you began to share your gifts with other people.
I thought I was bringing sunshine.
I think you are.
So.
I think you are. So when you say healed, you were healed from what?
Schizophrenia. Actually, it was a combination of illnesses. When my roommate sent me the PCP in the Navy, it created bipolar, schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive, the whole gamut.
Wow.
Every major depression. I've been through all of them.
So that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, but this Geodon is miraculous.
And this is a new medication.
Yes, it's brand new.
And it's working beautifully for you.
Yeah.
Because you might not have been here without it. You might not have been talking to us today.
I've been saved from some terrible fates.
Yeah. And as a result of that, you're sharing your talents and your gifts.
Well, I'd like to think so.
Now, you have written quite a few songs, and some have been published. And one, and this is what I guess what precipitated our getting back together, was the song "I Once Had a Bully." And you wanted to share that with people, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think now would be a perfect time. And let's just say real quickly, this is your song, and after we hear it, we're going to find out the story behind it.
Once had a bully. His hair was red and woolly. He tortured my adolescent brain and paved the way for me to go insane. Yes, I once had a bully. I came from a good family. He was green with jealousy. His words caused so much pain. Every drop of blood from my soul he drained. Yes, I once had a bully. I lost all confidence. Felt I had no common sense. So I turned to drugs to ease the hurt. And then he slammed me into the dirt. Yes, I once had a bully. Grew up and got a banker's degree and started him a family. I wonder if his kids will ever know what he did. Yes, I once had a bully. I'm supposed to forgive, the good book said, as his words resound in my head. They say he's got a lovely bride. I wonder if he's heard of my suicide. Yes, I once had a bully. Yes, I once had a bully. True story.
Is it a true story?
Mm-hmm.
Autobiographical?
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell us a little bit about what caused you to write that one?
I don't want to get too deep into it.
No, we won't. Just skim the surface. This is CV.
I was skimming the surface. Bullying starts with the bully himself being bullied. And then he wants to make somebody else miserable for what he went through. And he picks out a person who's a little shy and awkward, and he starts his bullying. What led me down the road to sickness was my inadequacy at athletics. I could not play sports. I was the son of a football coach.
Oh, the son of the coach was not an athlete.
I couldn't dribble, I couldn't pitch, I always fell into a ditch. I couldn't hit the side of a barn with a bat. But when they sat me on the piano, I took off. And I've been doing it ever since. But the feeling of inadequacy led me into the bully's life, where they changed schools, and I joined a band. And I had to see him every day and encounter his brutal insults every day. And he covered it well sometimes, and other times he just burst out in outbursts. He would clap his hands and say, "Gotcha, Moceri, gotcha." It was very painful to remember.
It's painful to hear.
Yeah,
Right.
well, anyway. By the time I left high school, my self-esteem was as low as a snake's knees, and I was just utterly worthless and had no direction. So I started drinking and smoking, and then into the Navy. I straightened up at boot camp, and then I was in Vietnam, and I carried my guitar with me, and I was a little ridiculed, and eventually the PCP trip came, and that was a horrendous trip. But that's how bullying starts. It starts with inadequacy and feelings of worthlessness, which leads you into an unreal world, escaping into drugs or something like that. And that's your demise. That's the end of it.
And that's part of why you wrote the songs.
Well, I'm trying to enlighten people who are bullying other people,
Yeah.
to know that it leads to some serious psychological effects.
It's very damaging.
You know, it damages you.
And the other thing that you do in the song that I really love, and that I've never thought about, I've never heard anybody even bring up, is, you know, after he's grown and married and is successful, what he did as a kid still has ramifications. It still has effects all those years later.
I don't think it phases him one bit. I don't think he remembers.
But
No, he probably remembers, but he'll just deny that he ever did it.
But it still lives through.
Listen, my emotions are deep.
Yeah.
And when I'm injured emotionally, I never forget. And I'm trying to forgive. I belong to a church, And I'm trying hard to forgive this deep hurt.
And it's to let that go, and that's what healing is. That's what healing is. And so what we're saying today to other bullies is it's a damaging, terrible thing to do.
You just don't know what you're doing to a person.
And to children who are being bullied today, what would you tell them, Mike?
Turn it over to God. And if they have any concept of a higher power or being, they say turn the other cheek. Others say fight back. I don't have the answer. I'm no great wise man, but I would say don't bully him back. Just be yourself and continue and follow your dreams. Follow your dreams, because I'll tell you what, when you sit down at the keyboard, ain't nobody can touch you. And you're published, he's not. Yeah. You know? So life does have a way, I think, of rectifying situations if we live long enough. But it was interesting that you said in the song, I wonder if he's heard of my suicide. You know, I mean, that was like an in your gut kind of thing. Yeah, that was a real experience. I almost died from an overdose, but my wife saved me. She called an ambulance right away, and I'd like to think I was saved for a special purpose to serve God in the nursing home as I did, and to continue to do that, and to be His servant, because I feel like I'm an instrument of His, and I'd like to enlighten people about the dangers of drugs and the treatment of them. It's so misunderstood. It's an illness so misunderstood. People like James Holmes and all these killings, the mentally ill are compared to them. And we're not all killers, you know? No, we're sensitive people with hurts. Gentle souls. You know? So how old were you when you were diagnosed with mental illness? 22. Which is about the age that it happens to a lot of us. And then you had to refocus, reorient, regroup your whole life, didn't you, Mike? Yeah, well, I went through 3 marriages. Oh. And I learned a lot from each one. And they all helped. And but mental illness is, you're alone. No matter how many people you're surrounded by, you're always alone in your own mind. And it's very painful. You have a wonderful family, but you're alone. And you have had, I mean, your family's been wonderful. Oh, my family was, I was so blessed by my family. Yeah, Mom and Dad, they were terrific. But you know, we just had a trip to Baton Rouge for Behavioral Health Day to raise awareness of issues about mental illness and behavioral health issues. And the T-shirt this year was, you know, Acadiana supports people with an invisible illness. Invisible is right. Yeah. And so that's part of why you're so alone. You struggle because no one can see it. And sometimes you may speak out of turn and say something a little inappropriate, and somebody looks at the corner of their eye. But it's all in the game of life. Yeah, but look at you now. Look at you now. Do you have any more songs? I think we could try to use 3 songs during today's show, but what's the next one that you're going to do? Be Nice. Be Nice. Now that goes right along with I Had a Bully, huh? Yeah. Do the opposite. You can be all alone. You can be someone who don't think twice. But whatever you do, be nice. You can be a movie star. You can drive a drag racing car. You can be all infested with lice. But whatever you do, be nice. You can be either rich or poor. You can be a cleaner of the floor. You can be just as cold as ice. But whatever you do, be nice. You can be someone who plays mind games. You can be someone who don't remember names. You can be someone at a wedding throwing rice. But whatever you do, be nice. Yeah, whatever you do, be nice.
Wonderful. Now that is an uplifting, fun song. Yeah. So why did you write that one?
Why did I write that one?
Where were you coming from?
Okay, I was waiting for my kids to come pay me a visit. And I just wanted to be as nice as I could so that I wouldn't be misunderstood by the divorces and thought to be the evil guy.
Yeah.
So I just sort of put some words to it, and they liked it.
I love it. I love it. So you write songs in your head all the time, huh?
Oh yeah, it's an obsessive compulsive thing, to tell you the truth.
Well, to tell you the truth, you're doing a good thing with your obsessive compulsion when it comes to this, because I guess I'm guessing, Mike, but it kind of helps take the feelings and the thoughts and put them outside of yourself so that you can.
The main thing is to get them out of here.
Yeah.
And look at them on paper and hear them, and just get rid of them. And express them to somebody who appreciates them,
right.
You know?
Yeah, because otherwise they go round and round.
Yeah.
And
if you
round.
keep it to yourself, that's no good.
So now I know some of your songs have been published, and the two that you've sung so far are both published songs, is that right? Mm-hmm. How do you get a song published? How does that happen?
You see that lady over there?
Well, we see her, but hey, TV land, she's our live audience today.
Barbara Ardeno is the hero of this story. She stayed up all night and got me on a radio station in California. The record company heard of me. They sent me a letter. I sent them all 6 of my CDs I had made, and I got some contracts in the mail. It's been uphill ever since because of Bobby.
Bobby did it.
Bobby did
Yay,
it.
Bobby! She's out of line, camera line, but she's here. But it's because she believes in you.
For the first time in my life, that woman believed in me.
So how does that feel to have somebody believing in you?
It's like being on a mountain.
Yeah. It's like being a real human being again, huh?
Yeah, really.
It's pretty special.
Part of the human race.
Exactly. Welcome to the world.
Thank you.
Welcome to the world. So what's going to happen to the songs now that they have been published?
Well, I've received 2 royalties already, so they can only get better.
Are you going to keep doing this? Keep doing it?
Yeah, I'm going to give most of my royalties to charity.
Which is, but it's just the fact that it's good enough to get a royalty.
Somebody in the recording business recognized that, hey, this is pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Now I'm going back to your bullying song again, not because I want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but is that something that maybe we could use to help, like with schools? You think,
Well, I brought them to Catholic High in Newbury and Westgate. And Jeff Zerang at the paper, and I'm hoping that they'll get spread around and use them as a tool to instruct young people who are bullies to not do it. Think twice before you hurt somebody.
If somebody watching today wanted to do something with that song, like get in touch with you and share it with kids, is that something that could happen?
Sure. I mean, yeah, I'd like to help any way I can.
So it's something that would be out there, and maybe just a tool that we could all use to help educate children, because that was your goal with that one, right?
I'm trying to enlighten people about the dangers of bullying.
Yeah. Because some people don't think about it, and then you can just flip it right
No,
over and be
no,
nice.
no, no, no. Some people are more susceptible. Some people can just shrug it off. But the more emotional, creative types take it to heart.
Yeah, yeah.
And it destroys their brain.
And their heart,
Yeah,
and their soul, yeah. So, and I love that we followed it up with be nice, because that is the antidote to being a bully. You don't have to hurt people. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been doing well now for about how long?
5 years now.
Okay.
Solid. I've been through a whole bunch of stress that I think a lot of people couldn't survive.
Yeah.
But because of the strength of this new medication, I'm still here.
And still
I have no thought about harming myself, harming anybody in the world. And it's just wonderful that God has inspired these wonderful scientists to create this medicine that is available, and the therapy that is being offered today. You don't have to be a nut in a straitjacket, you know?
you can have a life.
You can have a normal life.
And that's what you're having.
Yeah, I'm having a normal life.
I'm seeing that we only have like 5 minutes left. I want to do a third song,
Okay.
and I have a poem
This is
too.
about my dad. My dad paved the way.
He's my dad, and I love him. There's no one above him. When he shakes my hand, he makes me feel like a man. He's my dad, the only one. He's the moon, he's the sun, sent from God up above. The man I love. When I was young and he was 30, he'd clean my face, so dirty. He'd ride me on his back like a big lumberjack. He was so strong and so kind, and he taught my little mind how to think and how to feel, how to know when love is real. And now I'm a man, and I know how he helped me to grow strong and tall. But most of all, he gave me life, taught me how to live, how to share, how to give. Now I'm grown, and I'm glad that he's my dad. Now I'm grown, and I'm glad that he is my
little song.
Okay.
He's up there celebrating.
Yeah.
We are just about out of time, and you had written a poem
Yeah.
that I'd like to close today with you reading, and then this will kind of be the end.
Well, I'm sorry.
For the world to know, this is Mike Moceri. He is a songwriter, a singer, a poet, and a humanitarian.
Right after you left my house, I jotted this down, and I brought it to Sir Speedy, and they printed it up for me. This is the mental illness stigma. You know, like you get astigmatism in your eye,
Right.
it sticks, and some people never let you forget.
Yeah.
Okay. The mentally ill are smart, but sometimes they are sick, and their broken hearts are like a candle's wick that burns so brightly but can be snuffed out by ignorance and prejudice and by people who doubt that there really is treatment like any other disease, but the world just knocks them down to their knees. It is a secret very hard to keep, so they wear it on their sleeve and go home and weep. It's time for our society to make a deposit for the mentally ill people to come out of the closet.
Mike, thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching The Extra Mile.